There are aggressive batsmen, and then there are forces of nature. And then there was Sanath Jayasuriya. He wasn't just destructive, he was inevitable. Bowlers didn't just fear getting hit, they feared losing control of the entire game. Long before power hitting became fashionable, Jayasuriya was already playing a different sport altogether. He didn't believe in easing in, he didn't believe in respecting conditions, he believed in just one thing. If the ball is there, it's going out. And if you ever want to understand just how terrifying he could be, you don't need to look at his entire career. You just need to go back to one day in 2006, the 5th ODI of Sri Lanka's tour of England at Headingley Cricket Ground. Because on that day, Jayasuriya didn't just dominate England, he embarrassed them. England won the toss and chose to bat, exactly what you'd expect in home conditions, and they made it count. Marcus Trescothick led the charge with a brilliant 121, setting the tone for a commanding total of 321. Back in 2006, that wasn't just a good total, that was a match-winning total. But what England didn't realize was that they hadn't scored enough, because they were about to run into a storm they simply weren't prepared for. The chase began, and within moments, it was clear this wasn't going to be normal. The carnage started as early as the second ball. Kabir Ali drifted one down the leg side, 4 leg byes. The next ball, another gift. And this time, Sanath Jayasuriya didn't miss. Whipped away for 4. Jayasuriya wasn't picking bowlers, he was picking areas. Cuts through point, pulls through mid-wicket, drives straight down the ground. Every region of the field became a target zone. And the frightening part was that it didn't feel reckless. There were no wild swings, no lucky edges, just clean striking and perfect timing. As if the ball was arriving exactly where he wanted it every single time. Sri Lanka raced to 50 in just the 4th over. And suddenly, this wasn't a chase anymore. It was a demolition. 10 overs passed with no wickets. 97 runs already on the board. And England weren't just under pressure, they were losing control. They tried everything, pushing fielders back, changing bowlers, altering angles. But nothing worked, because Jayasuriya wasn't reacting, he was dictating. Short ball, he was ready to pull. Full ball, driven like a hammer. Spin, swept like it was a practice drill. At one point, it genuinely felt like England had run out of ideas. And when bowlers run out of ideas, they start hesitating. And against someone like Jayasuriya, hesitation is fatal. This was peak Jayasuriya. He brought up his 100 in just 72 balls. 72. At the other end, Upul Tharanga was playing a sublime innings himself, quietly building towards a brilliant 109. But even a century at the other end felt overshadowed. That's how dominant Jayasuriya was. But that 100 didn't slow him down. It unleashed something even more brutal. The boundaries started coming quicker. The gap seemed wider, and the fielders looked like they were chasing shadows, running, diving, hoping, but mostly just watching the ball race past them again and again. And when it finally ended, the numbers almost didn't feel real. 152 runs off just 99 balls, 24s and 4 sixes in 2006. Not in the era of T20 leagues, but in a time when such innings were rare, almost unbelievable. And yet, Jayasuriya made it look simple, almost casual. Yes, the pitch at Headingley was good for batting, flat, dry, perfect. But this wasn't just the pitch, it was unabashed ferocity. This was one man taking the game away, faster than anyone could react. Jayasuriya and Tharanga had put together 286 runs in just 32 overs, a record opening stand in ODIs at the time, and one of the highest for any wicket. And that massive total England had posted, it was chased down with 75 balls to spare. England didn't just lose, they were outplayed, outclassed, and completely overwhelmed. Sri Lanka won by 8 wickets, turning what should have been a contest into a one-sided demolition, and sealing a 5-0 whitewash. Jayasuriya was the man of the match, and also became man of the series after scoring 322 runs and taking 5 wickets. But even that doesn't fully capture what happened, because this wasn't just an innings, it was a statement. And the most frightening part? This wasn't new. Jayasuriya had a habit of doing this. tearing apart bowling attacks, and sometimes even finishing careers with his batting. So if you want to see what that kind of destruction looks like at its most brutal, click on the video being displayed, where Jayasuriya finished a bowler's career in just 15 minutes.